Navigator!
Let's rumble! Let's settle this!
I will fulfill my destiny.
Earthbending is awesome!
Let me show you how it's done.
You're mine!
I will win this war.
Hey folks, so welcome to my first app video. This is the new Avatar Generations mobile app available on Android and iOS. So once you have logged in and set up your account, you'll be taken straight into the tutorial. You get a predefined team and you basically get walked through baby steps on how the interface works and how the fights work. So you start off with Aang, Sokka, Katara and Toph, and yep, it's a bit story breaking to have them all working together, but the tutorial happens in another time from the game, and as you'll see shortly, yes, Sokka, that was awesome. Okay, one more fight to come. Colonel Monkey, that never gets old. If you hear any weird noises, it's just me having a drink so that I don't start coughing uncontrollably through this voiceover. So as you can see, if you press and hold on pretty much anything on the UI, you get a pop-up that explains what it is, what it does, why it's there, etc.
Good job, Twinkle Toes.
Come on. Yeah, okay, sorry, I read slow on a very small screen, so
Roll your whole head.
some of these things will be dragging on a bit. Boomerang Sling, which is his standard attack. No, that's his special attack. Right, throw it.
It's soccer time! For the Fire Nation!
Toasty time. That's a heck of an attack. Now, when your focus bar maxes out,
Settle this.
you can team up and do an ultimate multi-elemental attack. The bigger your focus bar is, the more you let it build. Before you trigger it, the more teammates can join in on the fight. So if you trigger it early on, you might get 2. If you let it build, you'll get all 3, or 3 out of the 4, and you get maximum power out of the attack. So basically it's best to leave your focus attacks as long as possible.
Nice work.
Right, here we go, here we go. Several months earlier. So this is where we go back to the storyline that was basically brought about in the original animated series. So I'm going to jump through some of this. Dinky, dinky, dinky. Now, you need to be aware there is a lot of press, 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 press in order to progress the game. I think they have added way too much. There isn't enough tap on it, get the story, and then go and do the thing. There's tap. Hey, you need to travel. Okay, so just travel. I shouldn't have to say, yes, I want to travel. Just travel. Hey, more story. Tap. Hey, more story. Tap. Oh, there's a combat. Tap. You need to fight. Yes, I know that. That's why I pressed the battle button. Tap. You'll see as we go on. Now, up in the top right there, just under the MA and magazine, you'll see the scene skip button.
He's alive. We have to
That
help
button is going to be your friend. If you know the storyline of the Airbender series, you can pretty much scene skip a lot of the early parts of the game. However, every sort of section of scenes, there's a reward. So I think if you skip all the scenes, you might miss those rewards. Now, the one thing about this game that is quite interesting is that you literally play both sides of the fence. So that first combat, well, this is the actual first combat, and right, here it is. Is it here? Yep. When the icon, the node there goes red, that means it's a combat scene coming up. So your first actual combat is actually going to be as Zuko and Iroh. So Team Firebender. Now that is important to note. So in the top center, front line, you take 15% less damage. Left side, you regenerate health each turn. Right hand side, your cooldown period on power attacks is less. You recharge faster. And the back row, you take 50% of any area of attack damage. And you cannot be targeted as long as there is somebody in the front row position. So that's a great place to put your healers. And there are healers, like Katara has healing abilities. She's good in both offensive and defensive. But it's good to put her in the rearmost position. Now, Uncle Iroh here, as you can see on the right hand side, the little teapot, he goes into a meditative state and can heal. There we go, calming state. So the opponents get lulled and get a slowdown in effect, and allies get healing.
Teach me the advanced set. I'll take it. Oh! This coward's 100 years of
Now you are Fire Nation fighting against Fire Nation, so there's no sort of real element, weaknesses or strengths coming into play here. However, if you are Fire Elemental and you are fighting Water Elemental, you have an advantage, they have an advantage. It's one thing I would like to see better documented or better illustrated is in any particular face-off, who's got an advantage over who.
Teach me the advanced set. Let me show you some real firebending. Oh!
Kind of thinking I should have sped this scene up a little bit, but I wanted you to see it play out in real time. Combat scenes will take a bit of time. It's just unfortunately the way it goes. More tap. Collect your rewards. Tap for collect the rewards. Tap to progress the story. There's way too much tap, tap, tap in this game, unfortunately. It's not game breaking. It just gets annoying after a while. And I speak to you now as someone who's been playing this for about 4 hours straight, and I am so sick of tapping. So yeah, pay attention to your requirements, because there are certain team requirements, must-haves or must-not-haves, that you need to have in play, otherwise the story will not progress. Yeah, I skipped all that because, let's face it, we know the story of Aang the Airbender. Now those little yin-yang symbols, they are your combat currency. So if you don't have enough of them, you can't start a story progressing combat scene. But thankfully you pick them up relatively easily. You start off with a good swag of them, and by the looks of it, although it's very, very early days, I mean this game's only been out in public release for, by the time I record this, for less than 48 hours. It seems to be pretty easy to gather them.
I won't give up.
Aang in Avatar mode. You can actually pick up Aang as an Avatar mode as a character. As I said, I've been playing this already for about a few hours, and later in this video I'll show you some of the summoning scenes, but I currently have 3 Aangs. It's kind of funny. There's some game mechanics I would like to see them add into this. I will explain that later on. Ta-da! You win! So these are all raw materials you need to ascend various characters, ascend and level up. So in line with many other similar type games, the characters level up to a certain point, and then they have to ascend to a new level of skill, and then you level them up again, and then you ascend them to the next tier of skill levels, and so on. The mechanic in this game, the ascension levels are based on the 7 chakras, which is kind of cool. Jump, 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 jump. Let's face it, if you're playing this game, you've probably seen the animated series, and the storyline is kind of irrelevant. And here we go, let's level up Aang.
If you want to be a bender, you have to let go of fear.
So your upgrade is moving up levels within a chakra tier. That's to maxed out, so now we ascend from red chakra to orange chakra. Now it's interesting the way they've got the chakras, because the red chakra, the sacral chakra, is actually at the base of your spine. So it shouldn't really be at the top, it should be at the bottom. So here's where you can see what materials are required to move to the next chakra. And scene skip there because it got a bit tedious, just bumping him up, bumping him up, bumping him up. And your daily rewards. So be sure to log in each day or play each day. Don't leave the app running. When you finish playing, actually quit out, because otherwise it won't register the login properly the next day. And so now I've got some more resources. I can bump Aang up another level. Now he's at max, but I don't have enough raw materials to ascend him. Now this is all where you get all your equipment and support stuff. So this is actually kind of cool. There's quite a bit of stuff you can summon and find and earn. And once you've earned it, you equip it, and you can upgrade it prior to or after equipping as well. So you know, it actually makes quite a bit of a difference. However, here's one of the mechanics I really wish they would have in the game, is the ability to merge duplicate items. So while it's nice to have one of these books for every player, at some point you've got more books than you actually need. So if you could merge them to create a next tier book, that would be kind of cool. It would mean that you don't kind of waste summonings by getting resources that end up just sitting there doing nothing. That said, I mean, you can actually end up with quite an army of characters, many of which are duplicates, and send them off on multiple concurrent missions. So you can have a team of 4 characters going off and doing one mission, while another team is off doing a second mission on autopilot. Now I skipped the cutscenes there, but I wanted to show you this because I was lucky enough to summon Toph, the character. And that was very cool. Having an earthbender in my team is very handy. So there you see I've got 3 of those daggers. It would be nice to be able to merge them into a level 2 dagger, which I could then scale up. Yeah, I have no training scrolls for her, so I can't upgrade her at this stage. At the time of recording this, I've upgraded her quite a bit. Now this is another mission, Team Firebender. And sorry, this gets a bit tedious. I put this in here particularly to show you just how much click, 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 click is required just to do anything. So now we're to travel. So now we get some more story. Click. Now I click. And I have to click travel and then click travel again. It's redundant. And hey developers, if you see this video, please trim out some of this excessive clicking. A lot of this dialogue isn't necessary. It would be nice to have a double arrow, which is just, hey, skip all the dialogue. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead anyway, even though I'm weaker than ideal. Okay, so a couple of things to note. Top right, you'll see the marker on the play button. You can press that button and you trigger auto combat, so they'll do the fight for you. The AI is pretty good. It will try and ensure that you win, but it won't necessarily always aim for the best possible outcome. Simply, it'll calculate combat to win. What that means is it won't always trigger your combos when they will have their best effect. It has a threshold where it'll drop them or it won't. And another click, and another click, and a walkie, and another click, and oh no, didn't get there fast enough. Oh, there we go, another click, and another click. And another click. Yay, get some more stones. And uh-oh, what a surprise. Backstabber. Oh, hello, Iroh. As you can see in the top right under Pirate Peak, recommended power 35k. You can relax. You can't add any more non-firebending characters at this point. You're still held to the same restrictions. However, boom, Iroh and 2 soldiers from the ship automatically enter your party. So recommended 35, you're at 71 thou. Now remember what I said, the person in the back row takes less damage, and that's a good place to put your healers. Well, the game has decided that's where Zuko needs to be. Primarily because Iroh will always want to protect his nephew.
Not a chance. Really hurt my tailbone. Attack! Attack!
Now, when you tap on the various characters, you see the circle at their feet is green, red, or white. Now, what I don't like is that when you are doing the actions of the leftmost flank or rightmost flank, anybody in the opponent's or the opposing front row, you can rarely see their feet. And that's kind of important when it comes to these circles, because if the circle is white, there is no bonus either side. If the circle is green, they have the upper hand. If the circle is red, you have the upper hand against them. At least that's what I think it is. It might be the other way around. To be honest, at the early stages of the game, the differing levels of strengths between the sides isn't great enough to really make it obvious who's got the upper hand. So until your characters are sort of really quite strong, it's probably best to just not worry about that too much and just go for who's going to kick the most butt. Now you can see on the bottom left the combo bar, the focus bar, the red one, is well into the second category, or second notch, which means I could bring in a second character for my combo. However, the opponent's backsides were whopped most severely early on. And here we go. So there you have it. Thank you very much, guys. This is not a comprehensive video by any means. I have only been playing the game for a few hours, but I wanted to get this video out early and show it off. In the meantime, this is going to be featured in the March issue of the magazine. I invite you all to check that out. It will be freely available through the web portal, saywhat.nz, from the 1st of March onwards. Free to download, please enjoy, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe, hit the like, do the notifications, the usual stuff, but more importantly, please consider joining the Patron Pack. For as little as $2 per month, you can help support more videos like this and more of the domestic tourism trips, which is very important to the success of the magazine. So I look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Cheers!